Two names go on the same deed, same house, same day, same signature line. One family keeps the house forever. The other one loses it in probate, splits it with a sibling nobody talks about anymore, or watches a lawsuit take it away entirely. Same house, different 4 words buried in the deed. Almost nobody reads those words. The real estate agent doesn't explain them. Half the time the title company just asks, how do you want to hold title, and hands a pen, not an explanation. I'm a licensed mortgage broker, more than 20 years, thousands of closings, and I've watched people find out those 4 words at the worst possible moment. A death, a divorce, sitting across the table, an attorney instead. Today I'm going to walk you through every major way to hold title. Each one is actually built for, and the one mistake that quietly costs families the most. Let's go. Quick note before we get into it, I'm a licensed mortgage broker, not an attorney. And how you title is a legal decision. It's not a lending one. This is education, so you know what questions to ask. Not a substitute for the real estate attorney or an estate planning attorney. Looking at your actual situation in actual state, because the rules here shift state by state more than most anything else we cover in this channel. But the concepts don't change. The concepts are what nobody hands you. So here's the whole video on one line before we go further. Title decides 3 things: who controls the property while you're alive, who gets it the moment you die, and how exposed it is if somebody sues you. Not the will, not what you meant to happen. The 4 words on the deed. Get that wrong, and the nicest will in the world doesn't matter. Title overrides it. Real quick, right as this lands, if you just realize your deed might be quietly overriding your will, do me one favor and tap the like button. This channel is small, and one tap puts it in front of the next person about to sign title company's default paperwork without knowing there was ever a choice to make. Okay, let's go through them. We'll start simple. First one, sole ownership. One person, one name, full control. You can sell it, refinance it, leave it, whomever you want. Nobody else's signature is required for anything. It's clean. It's also the version with 0 backup plan. If something happens to you, that property doesn't skip to anybody automatically. It goes through probate. The court process that sorts who gets it what. And depending on your state, that can run months, sometimes over a year, with legal fees eating into what's left. Sole ownership isn't wrong. It's just incomplete on its own, which is why almost everything else on this list exists to fix one gap. The most common fix reach is for joint tenancy with right of survivorship. You will see it abbreviated as JTWROS. 2 or more owners, equal shares, and here's the feature everybody actually wants. When one owner dies, the share doesn't go through probate at all. It passes automatically to the surviving owner. No court, no delay. That's the entire appeal, and it's a real one. But equal means you can't split 70-30. And here's the part that surprises people. You can't just leave your share to your kid in your will. Survivorship beats the will every time. So if you and a sibling inherit a house together as joint tenants, and you wanted your half to go to your children, it doesn't. It goes to your sibling. That's not a bug. That's the whole point of the structure. It's just not the point everybody wants. For married couples, a lot of states offer something even stronger. Tenancy by entirety. It works like joint tenancy, automatic survivorship, no probate, but it adds one more layer. In many states, a creditor coming after one spouse's death alone generally can't touch the house, because the law treats the couple as one single owner, not 2 people who happen to be married. This one's state specific. Not every state recognizes it, so it's on the short list of things worth a 5-minute phone call to a local attorney to confirm before you assume you have it. Now flip it around. Tenancy common, TIC. This is one for people who want flexibility and not automatic survivorship. Ownership doesn't have to be equal. You can have one owner at 70%, one at 30%, which matters a lot when one person put more down than the other person. And each owner's share goes wherever they decide, their will, their trust, whomever they name. It does not automatically pass to other owners. This is a common choice for business partners buying an investment property, family member going in with unequal amounts, or anyone who specifically does not want survivorship overriding their own estate plan. So pause here for 1 second, because this is the fork that matters the most. Joint tenancy by entirety automatically hand the house to the co-owner. Tenancies in common does not. Your share goes exactly where you say. Neither one is better. They're built for opposite goals. The mistake is ending up in one of them by accident, because it's whatever the title company chose by default. If you're one of the community property states, think of California, Texas, Arizona, a handful of others, there's a version built specific for marriage called community property. Means anything acquired during the marriage is owned equally, 50-50, no matter whose name is on the paycheck and who bought it. On its own, community property does not include automatic survivorship. Your half still goes through your estate, your will, your plan. But most of these states also offer a second version. It's called community property with right of survivorship. Same 50-50 equal ownership, plus the automatic pass to your spouse feature, no probate. If you're married in a community property state, that combination is usually the one worth asking about by name. Now, here's the one I think is the most underused tool on this entire list, the living trust. Instead of you owning the property, the trust owns it. You control it completely while you're alive. You can sell it, refinance it, live in it. Nothing changes day by day, but the moment you pass, the property doesn't touch probate at all. It transfers to whomever you named, quietly, privately, usually within weeks, not months. And it's flexibility in a way none of the joint ownership options are. You can leave unequal shares to different people, set conditions, name backup beneficiaries, handle a blended family without survivorship steamrolling your actual wishes. The trade-off is upfront cost and a little more paperwork to set it up. For a lot of families, especially anyone with more than one property or family situation, that isn't simple. The upfront cost is small next to a year in probate. Quick one for the investors watching, because I know a chunk of you are. LLC ownership. The LLC, not you personally, holds the title, and the point isn't estate planning, it's a legal wall. If a tenant sues over something that happens on their property, they're suing the LLC's assets, not your personal ones. I've got a full episode that goes deep on this one, because there is a real landmine there around financing and LLC held property. That has nothing to do with titling and everything to do with the loan. So I'll leave that link in the description instead of reteaching the whole thing right now. For today, just know it's on the list and it's a liability tool, not primarily an inheritance one. Corporation ownership is the same wall as an LLC, just built for businesses already operating as a corporation, usually a company holding a real estate as business asset, not something most individuals, homeowners, or small investors reach for. Worth knowing it exists, rarely the right first move for a personal rental. And last one, and it solves a very specific family problem. It's called the life estate. One person, usually a parent, keeps the right to live in the home for the rest of their life. They can stay there, no landlord, no rent guaranteed. But ownership is already split. A designated person, often the adult kids, holds what's called the remainder interest. And the moment the life estate holder passes away, ownership transfers automatically to them. Because in some situations, it can affect how the home counts towards eligibility, which is exactly the kind of detail that needs an elder law attorney, not a YouTube video before anyone signs anything. Real quick before I put this all on one screen, today's video is brought to you by me, There's no big sponsor. This channel is my business. I'm a licensed mortgage broker. And while I can't tell you how to title your property, that's your attorney's call, I can tell you exactly what a lender needs to see once you and your attorney land the answer. Especially if it's a trust or an LLC, it's going to be sitting on your title. If you're buying or refinancing in the next few months, book a free 15-minute call, no pressure, no pitch. Scan the code on your screen or tap the link in the description or the pinned comment, which is the very first comment. All right, let's get back to it, because if I had to pick the one mistake that costs families the most, it isn't picking the wrong type of list. It's never picking at all. It's the couple who bought a house in 2005, took whatever title the title company gave them, and never looked back again. Through a remarriage, blended family, a rental property, added a decade later, a state they moved to that treats things completely different than the one they left. The deed from 2005 is still running the show. This isn't a one-time box you check at closing. It's something worth revisiting every time your life actually changes. Married, divorced, new state, property that turns into a rental, kids from a prior relationship entering the picture. So let's put the whole thing on one screen. Screenshot this. 1. Title decides who controls it, who inherits it, and who exposed it is, and it overrides your will. 2. Automatic survivorship, no probate, joint tenancy, or for married couples, tenancy by entirety, or community property with right of survivorship. 3. Want your share to go exactly where you say, no automatic override, tenants in common, a living trust, or flexible and privacy. 4. Buying as an investor, LLC, or corporation, ownership is a liability protection, not an inheritance, separate decision. 5. A parent staying in the home for life while the kids hold the remainder. That's a life estate. Talk to an elder attorney about it. 6. Whatever you picked at the first of the closing, revisit every time your life changes. That's the whole map. Screenshot it. Then go pull up your own deed and actually read the 4 words. And remember, this is general education, not legal advice for your situation. Every state treats these differently, so before you change anything, sit down with a real estate or estate planning attorney who knows the state. Before you go, let me ask you straight. If you just found out your deed might not do what you always assumed it did, do one thing for me: subscribe to the channel. It's small, and every subscribe tells YouTube to put this in front of the next person about to sign whatever the title company hands them, no questions asked. Drop how you hold title down in the comments. Sold, joint, trust, LLC, whatever it is. I read every single one. And if you're not sure, that's totally normal. Leave a comment too. I'll see you in the next one.